Welcome to Ethiopia Today. Our presentation covers the following topics. Businesses under the AfCFTA advised to embrace technology for high-quality products. The research indicates that most Americans are unhappy with U.S. President's handling of inflation. 7 Eritrean relatives killed in car accident in Addis, Ababa. Low uptake of smartphones hinders digital penetration in Rwanda. Ethiopia committed to further bolstering relations with neighboring countries. Zelensky says a deal is realistic and closer. The details are as follow and invite you to stay tuned.
Uganda. Businesses seeking to export goods and services under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area AfCFTA arrangement have been advised to embrace technology for high-quality products, the independent Kampala reported. AfCFTA, which has a market base of 1.5 billion people, has been touted as a game-changer for economies like Uganda as it promises larger market opportunities, triggering more trade and investment and allowing greater value addition, export diversification and productivity growth, leading to more and better jobs with greater social inclusion. The Chief Executive Officer of Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Stephen Asimwe, says that Uganda is competing with 53 other countries under one single market, and as such needs technology to enhance efficiency and deliver goods of high standards and on time. Giving an example of a pineapple from the farm that has a shelf life of 5 days without refrigeration, Asimwe said exporters must invest in refrigeration services to keep the pineapples fresh, juicy, and safe for consumers. Alternatively, invest in value addition by sun-drying or packaging juice, he advised. Africa accounts for just 2.9% of global trade and only about 17% of African exports are intracontinental, compared to 58% for Asia and 65% for Europe. However, limited knowledge and understanding of the free trade area remain a huge challenge to the successful uptake of trade opportunities within the newly created One African market. Uganda is facing a number of challenges in exploiting opportunities under AfCFTA. These include high interest rates, unfavorable tax policies, quality standards, poor dispute resolution mechanisms, insecurity, low digitalization levels, and the inability of key institutions to identify opportunities and link them to entrepreneurs, and limited support to boost quality productions. If you are selling cement, a kilo is a kilo. It must be well packaged, clean and safe. A bag of cement is 50 kilograms, not 45 kilograms, and should contain the real ingredients, not sand. If you promise to deliver a product, be reliable and efficient. Deliver services on time. If you say you are a lawyer, you must be one. We need to stop being Baffer-Conman, the PSFU boss emphasized. The discussion came up as PSFU, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, started a mass awareness campaign to promote the AfCFTA and strengthen the capacities of export-ready enterprises in Uganda. The AfCFTA, which went into force in January 2021, was created to form a single market for goods and services on the African continent, which allows for the free movement of persons and investments. Asimwe said Ugandan businesses need to invest in high-quality human resources to be competitive in the free trade area. For professional services, we need to invest in good quality services. We must ensure that people work on time, are efficient, and reliable. People should invest in learning several languages such as French and Kiswahili, he advised. PSFU is providing technical support to equip 250 export-ready enterprises in Uganda with knowledge, skills, and tools to enhance their ability to access regional and continental markets. Asimwe said PSFU is engaged in advocacy work, especially with government agencies such as the Uganda Revenue Authority, Ministry of Trade, Immigration and Foreign Affairs to facilitate regional trade. We are engaging the government to lower telecom rates, build industrial zones near the borders, put business-oriented people in consulates, provide power and good infrastructure to help people to the business. We are working with Uganda Tourism Board to create trade fairs to promote local products and services. We want to get people in the entertainment industry to go outside in the region to make money, he said. We have Uganda Airlines making 3 flights to Kinshasa per week. The government is building new roads in Democratic Republic of Congo. On our side, we are doing market intelligence to ensure we exploit these markets, and people do not get stuck with these things which won't sell. Private Sector Foundation Uganda, PSFU, is Uganda's apex body for the private sector. It is made up of over 200 business associations, corporate bodies, and the major public sector agencies that support private sector growth. The research indicates that most Americans are unhappy with U.S. President's handling of inflation. Almost 3/4 of Americans said they're unhappy with U.S. President Joe Biden's handling of inflation, which is now widely considered the country's top priority for voters, reported Newsweek on Monday, citing an ABC News based on Ipsos poll. A record high of 70% of the general public said they disapprove of Biden's response to inflation, noting that the figure is slightly higher than the 69% disapproval Biden received for his handling of inflation in previous polls from the end of January and mid-December conducted by the same company, ABC Ipsos. The survey found the same percentage of respondents are also unhappy with how Biden is handling the surges in gas prices, with 70% saying they disapprove of how the president is coping compared to 28% who approve, report shows. The poll also found that Biden has an all-time disapproval high in ABC Ipsos polls of 58% with regards to his handling of the post-pandemic economic recovery. Biden has seen a slight increase in his overall popularity in the polls in recent weeks, but the latest numbers for how he is handling inflation are sure to worry the president, given that several other polls revealed that the economy has overtaken the pandemic as the number one issue for Americans today, added Newsweek. Eritrea. 7 Eritrean relatives killed in car accident in Addis, Ababa. 7 women who were relatives of an Eritrean family, including a passenger who was on her way to Bole International Airport to travel abroad, were killed in a car accident in Addis, Ababa on Saturday, the 12th of March, reported Addis Standard. There were 11 people from the family in the same car driving from Gelen condominium to Bole Airport to see off the family member, who was accompanied by her 4- and 6-year-old children, the Addis Ababa City Fire and Disaster Risk Management Commission said. The children survived the accident but are admitted to hospital and recovering from their injuries. The accident happened when the minibus carrying the 11 passengers collided head-on with a broken Sinatruck that was parked on the road halfway to Bole International Airport, killing the 7 women instantly. Among the victims were the overseas traveler, her mother who came from Asmara, and other family members. According to Nagatu Mamo, public relations expert with the Fire and Disaster Risk Management Commission, it took first responder more than an hour and 20 minutes extract the bodies out of the badly damaged minibus. Nagatu recalled several accidents happened in the past in the area. One police officer was killed before. The police are investigating the exact cause of the latest accident. Rwanda. Low uptake of smartphones hinders digital penetration in Rwanda. In the fourth quarter of 2021, only 1,943,786 smartphones were operational or active in Rwanda, approximately 15% of entire population, according to data from Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority, reported New Times. With digital transformation being continuously positioned as a key enabler for the country's development agenda, access to digital gadgets, among other factors, remains a challenge. However, it is important to note that internet penetration in Rwanda is at 66%, while mobile subscription number of active SIM cards is at 85%, according to data from the authority by September 2021. For maximum digital penetration to take place, Charles Gahangu, General Manager of ICT Regulation Department at Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority, said that it requires different mechanisms and interconnected technological activities to take effect. For instance, if device penetration is still low, that means that a larger number of people have not yet adopted available digital services, he said. A person with a smartphone is exposed to digital knowledge and access to digital services. If I am able to make payments online, access bank services online, it's because I have a smartphone. He noted that considering the financial capacity of citizens and the cost of these gadgets, many don't have the means to immediately buy them. Another important issue remains the gap in digital literacy in the country, especially in rural areas. While one can quickly learn the basics of using a smartphone, it requires some significant knowledge to navigate through advanced digital services by using the gadget. Gahangu emphasized the role that improved education will play in digital transformation in long-term period. He said that in the coming years, a person who will have at least primary level education or ordinary level secondary education, they will be in a better position and knowledgeable enough to manipulate digital technologies. On these issues, different interventions were made by the government and stakeholders to increase digital literacy and provision, as well as the adoption of digital gadgets. Bole Ngabayar, Minister of ICT and Innovation, hands a smartphone to a residence in Bugesera district, launched in 2017. The Digital Ambassadors Program, locally known as Int'l Buhanga, is an ambitious plan in which the government targets to introduce 5 million citizens to digital literacy and opportunities through the use of e-government and e-business services. Another key effort is the ongoing Connect Rwanda Challenge, a campaign that seeks to mobilize people to contribute to providing smartphones to Rwandans who cannot afford them, is expected to drive up access to smartphones. Since its inception, Connect Rwanda program has mainly focused on different segments of the population: the unconnected, female farmers, persons with disabilities, individuals in categories 1 and 2 of UBITA, among others. The initiative curated a pledge program that saw a national multi-industry participation where over 44,000 smartphones were pledged and 24,973 were honored. Out of these, 7,670 have been distributed last year. Ethiopia committed to further bolstering relations with neighboring countries. The government of Ethiopia is committed to forging its excellent relationship with neighboring countries, according to Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Foreign Affairs spokesperson Dina Mufti told INA that it is natural to focus on neighboring countries because they are close entities to your place. There is people-to-people relationship which you should accommodate, and there is also flow of goods and people across the border. Whatever happens in your neighborhood will affect you faster than what happens elsewhere. Therefore, focusing on neighborhood is critical. That is why Ethiopia has been focusing on its neighbors. So far, the relationship with the neighboring countries is more or less excellent, Dina added. According to him, there are of course hiccups like what we have with Sudan, but hopefully will be overcome if we work diligently at a peaceful level. A border issue could be overcome through the mechanisms we have already set early on. Those mechanisms could help to overcome the border dispute between Ethiopia and Sudan, he noted. The spokesperson stated that we have overcome the difficulties we had with Eritrea for years. Ethiopia had an unfortunate war with Eritrea, and that ended. Now, Ethiopia has excellent relationship with Eritrea, Dina said, adding that the same is true with all other countries except Sudan, in which this unfortunate circumstance will hopefully stay for the time being. Mechanisms and organizations like EGAD, which focus on the neighboring countries, will help to integrate the countries with economic, trade and infrastructure, among others. Focusing on neighbors is ideal and proper, the spokesperson stressed. Speaking about the concern of Ethiopia on the Red Sea, Dina said, we can consider ourselves as a country close to the Red Sea, and the peace, security and development of the Red Sea region would affect us. Ethiopia is normally the country that considers whatever happens at the Red Sea from its interest perspectives, the spokesperson noted. Whatever good happens in the Red Sea will affect us positively. Whatever happens negatively in the Red Sea region would affect us negatively. Therefore, it is normal for Ethiopia to have concern about what is happening in the Red Sea region because it is very close, he underscored. Furthermore, there are lots of players at the Red Sea and there is gravity and tendencies of some regional powerful states to have military bases in the region. Dina pointed out that as a country, Ethiopia would like to forge good relationships with all of them. We don't need to be partisan. Ethiopia can forge friendly relationships with everyone in the region as long as it serves the interest of the country.
Are you looking for professional website and secure web hosting services? If so, you have come to the right place. Everything you can imagine is real. For us, impossible is just an opinion. As all our experts are highly professional and friendly, the digital home of your business is in safe hands and no more technical pressure on you. If you require a charity website, we have 20% off. Our team has already delivered great projects with highest standards which our customers always love. We are forward-thinking team and hunger to deliver more and help. Let's bring your dreams into reality. Get in touch today. Contact at ethiopiatodayofficial.org.
Zelensky says a deal is realistic and closer. Zelensky says progress of peace talks is realistic, and his team believe deal will be struck with Vladimir Putin within a week or two because Russian forces will run out of troops and supplies as he concedes that Ukraine will never join NATO, reported Daily Mail. Volodymyr Zelensky said on Wednesday peace talks with Russia were sounding more realistic, but more time was needed for any deal to be in the interests of Ukraine. Zelensky made the early morning statement after his team said a peace deal will be struck with Vladimir Putin within 1 or 2 weeks because Russian forces will run out of fresh troops and supplies by then. The meetings continue, and, I am informed, the positions during the negotiations already sound more realistic, he added. But time is still needed for the decisions to be in the interests of Ukraine, Zelensky said in a video address on Wednesday ahead of the next round of talks. Meanwhile, Oleksiy Arestovich, one of Zelensky's top aides, said the war would end within weeks and a peace deal struck when Putin's troops run out of resources, but warned that Russia could bring in new reinforcements to bolster their attack, which could prolong the conflict further. We are at a fork in the road now, said Arestovich. There will either be a peace deal struck very quickly, within a week or two, with troop withdrawal and everything. Or there will be an attempt to scrape together some, say, Syrians for a round 2 and, when we grind them too, an agreement by mid-April or late April. I think that no later than in May, early May, we should have a peace agreement. Maybe much earlier. We will see. Earlier, Zelensky said that Ukraine must accept it will not become a member of NATO, a statement that will be music to the ears of Vladimir Putin and could pave the way for some kind of peace deal between the warring nations. Zelensky said on Tuesday that Ukraine is not a member of NATO and that we have heard for years that the doors were open, but we also heard that we could not join. It's a truth and it must be recognized. His statement, while making no firm commitments, will be seen as further opening the door to some kind of peace deal between Ukraine and Russia after negotiators hailed substantial progress at the weekend, without giving any idea what such a deal would look like. Putin had been demanding guarantees that Ukraine would never be admitted to NATO, along with the removal of all the alliance's troops and weapons from ex-Soviet countries. After being rebuffed by Kyiv, Washington, and NATO, he launched his special military operation to demilitarize and denazify the country. Russian negotiators have softened their stance a little since then, saying they want Ukraine to declare neutrality, disarm, recognize Crimea as part of Russia, and recognize the whole of the Donbass as independent. Ukraine has been demanding a ceasefire and the immediate withdrawal of all Russian forces. Talks have been ongoing this week, and Moscow has made no mention of wider demands on NATO in recent days. The Ukrainians said the talks have included a broader agreement that would lead to the withdrawal of Russian troops. Zelensky again urged Western allies to impose a no-fly zone over Ukraine and deplored NATO's refusal to do so thus far, adding that the dire situation in his country has allowed us to see who our true friends are these past 20 days. Speaking to the Canadian Parliament, Zelensky said, "Can you imagine calling other friendly nations and asking them please close the sky, close the airspace, stop the bombing?" And in turn they expressed their deep concerns about the situation. "We talked to our partners and they say please hold on a little longer," Zelensky said.
Thanks for staying with us. If you enjoyed our presentation, give us a like and share to your social contacts. And also don't forget to subscribe and tap on the notification bell if this is your first time. Please also check on our collection of favorites on the description section below. See you on our next video. Many thanks.